Hello, and welcome to Make It Yourself Living. Today I'm going to make fudge. So, why do that? Well, I was invited to Thanksgiving dinner, and the dinner is going to be purchased, so there's really no heavy cooking happening, but everything will be there. So, I felt kind of odd not having anything to bring, so I made fudge. Today I'll be making a white chocolate fudge with a hint of lemon to it. And I'm also going to make a dark chocolate fudge and do a little peppermint in there so it kind of reminds you of one of those York peppermint patties. Now, could you put nuts in them? Yeah, but in this case, nuts really wouldn't fit, so I just did the plain fudge. It's super, super easy. All you need, of course, is your chocolate, what chocolate you want to use. You need a stick of butter, and you need a can of sweetened condensed milk. And yes, it's thick and it's sweet, plus whatever extract or flavoring you want to put in it. So, like I've been saying, put your seatbelts on and let's take a look, okay? Okay, I'm going to start with the lemon fudge. So it's going to take a second, but you'll see that I have sweetened condensed milk, and I'm going to put the entire can. Now remember, I'm making two batches, so I'm going to put the entire can in here. And yes, it's real fun to get out of the can. Now once I'm done with the can, you're going to see me pick up a stick of butter. Um, Sorry guys, this is not for Weight Watchers. I do put an entire stick of butter within my fudge, and that'll be coming up shortly. I will speed up this film so you're not stuck just watch me do things like empty cans. And here's that butter I was talking about. You can cut it up, and it would probably melt a lot quicker than mine did, but I just threw in the entire stick. Now, this is the white chocolate. When you do white chocolate, you want to use the lowest heat possible. And there's the white chocolate. I have approximately 3.5 cups worth. Little extra because white chocolate's a little softer, if you will, than the other chocolates. And here comes the lemon. This is the lemon zest. Basically, you take it right off the lemon itself. You do not want to include the pith. When you grate off the zest, you should only be grating off the yellow part. If you get down to the pith, then that's a problem. And I'm trying to show you here, but I didn't realize that my lemon wasn't low enough. So just go ahead and work off some zest. About a lemon's worth is good. Avoid the pith at all costs. It's going to make your fudge taste awful. Now once that's in, I'll put in a teaspoon of lemon extract. And there's the lemon extract. And as I already said, this is going to be on the lowest setting, and I'm just going to let it sit there and melt. If it takes forever, it takes forever. But I'm not going to make you watch. So in a moment, I'll be concluding this part of the video, letting it melt down, then picking it up and showing you the end results. Hopefully saving you a little bit of time. And I'll be ending this section of the video just about now. Now you're seeing the melted fudge. And as you mix it, the butter is going to look like it doesn't want to incorporate, but just keep on mixing. It will incorporate. Now, as soon as I feel like I've done this enough, I'll put it in my prepared pan. Unfortunately, you can't see it really well in the video. It's just a regular 8x8 pan, which I sprayed with some Pam. And then I also put a strip of parchment paper in there. So as this sets up and gets ready, it'll be easier to pull out of the pan, get on a cutting board, and cutting it up. I would suggest cutting up small pieces. This stuff does tend to get pretty rich. And if you think about it, after big Thanksgiving dinner, people aren't going to be really too interested in eating a pound of fudge. Well, they could be interested, but it won't turn out well. And here's the pan. I can't get it any closer to the camera because that actually is hot. It is Pyrex, but if you put Pyrex on direct, it does crack. Trust me, I accidentally did that. So I'm just putting it in and then I'm going to spread it out, try to make it nice and neat. And once it's spread out, stick it in the fridge and let it set. Once it sets, it should pull out relatively easy, and cutting it's a breeze. Cut it into however many chunks you want. To let you know, I did taste this and I like it. It's not super sweet because white chocolate can get a little much, if you will. And the taste, it has that white chocolate taste, but then you get the little hint of lemon in there too. It's quite nice. I would suggest giving it a try. And we're going to pick up with the chocolate one next. For this next one, I'm going to be using semi-sweet chocolate, but of course I'm going to begin with the sweetened condensed milk. I like doing that first because as it warms up, it almost protects the chocolate if it gets thrown on top of it, preventing it from burning, but you still have to keep an eye on it. You know, whether it's white chocolate or dark chocolate, if you're not careful, you can easily burn it. White chocolate burns a lot quicker than the semi-sweet or dark chocolate, but it still will burn. Now you're going to see me put this in, which will take a little bit of scraping. As soon as it's in, I'll put the butter in. And the actual chocolate itself, I'm only using 3 cups. Semi-sweet chocolate is a little more firmer than anything you're going to get with white chocolate, so you don't necessarily need as much. Yep, sweet condensed milk is fun to work with, isn't it? And here comes the butter. And next will be the 3 cups of semi-sweet chocolate. Do you have to use chocolate chips? No, you can get baker's chocolate if you prefer. I just have this because I live with 3 cookie monsters who love to have cookies all the time. So, semi-sweet chocolate chips. Once this is in, you're going to notice something a little strange. I put in a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a teaspoon of peppermint extract. So why the vanilla? I feel it turns down the intensity of the peppermint a little bit. It kind of gives it a better flavor, so you don't feel like you're eating toothpaste. And there goes the vanilla, I believe, followed by the peppermint. Now, as this continues to melt, the next video I pick up with shows it not quite done. I wanted you to see what happens when the butter melts within the chocolate. It looks like it's never going to incorporate, but it does. You just got to use the muscles and keep on stirring and stirring and stirring. And that's the peppermint. And I'll be showing you the end result in a moment. Now you're looking at the fudge. It's, I'd say, about halfway melted, not quite there. See what I mean about the butter looking like it's never going to incorporate? It does. One problem I've had with this mixture, low heat with semi-sweet chocolate really isn't warm enough. So I get a little impatient. I ramp it up in a moment, but I would suggest just don't use your lowest, maybe go to the medium setting. if you do increase the heat, you're going to have to sit there and stir that thing constantly or else it'll burn on you. Yeah, as you can see, it looks like it's trying to seize up a little bit. That's what prompts me to ramp up the heat. But in your case, don't ramp it up as high as I did, just ramp it up a bit. I keep moving the pot back and forth. I'm trying to give you a view, but also to have the pot over the elements so I can get the heat. It's a little bit of a balancing act. It seems like I'm finally getting around to raising up the heat. Because if you look at the chocolate, it almost looks like it's trying to seize up. So I ramped up the heat and just started to stir, 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 just trying to make sure nothing burns. Once this is done, you're going to see me shut everything down and of course pull out my prepared pan, a 9x9 or 8x8, whichever you have. And I sprayed it with a little Pam and it has a piece of parchment paper so I can lift it out like a sling. And you can see the higher heat is letting this chocolate melt a lot easier. And I'm starting to get a better consistency. When I poured it in the pan, I realized I should have let it go just a hair longer, but I still managed it. So as this concludes, I'll say as I always do, if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like what's happening on this channel, feel free to subscribe. It's free. I don't do any alerts or any notifications, so that's entirely up to you how you want to set it up. But as always, I want to thank you for being part of this video and spending time with me. I believe I just shut the heat off to it, and I'll be getting the pan in a moment or two. There's the pan. And as I mentioned, I can't pull it closer to the camera because that element's hot. But I'm pouring it in the pan and spread it out the best I can and stick it in the fridge. As soon as it sets, pull it out by its sling, cut it up. I'd make small cuts. What'd be really nice is to make some fudge and give it away on Christmas. That'd be a sweet treat I know a lot of your relatives would probably like. Well, thank you again for being part of the video, and I do hope you enjoy the fudge if you make it yourself. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.